Hello, this is Black Femme Beauty. I am back doing an energy reading for Gemini sun signs, Gemini business owners, entrepreneurs, and brand owners. Messages for Gemini sun placements, business owners, entrepreneurs, and brand owners. If you're new here, my readings are not gender nor sexuality specific. I read the energies of masculine and feminine where it applies. Gemini, business owners, brand owners, and entrepreneurs. Messages. I'm getting like struggle here. There's been a struggle in creating stability, building foundation in your business and your ideas and your creativity. The creativity flows, but the stability behind that, the selling of the product, the marketing, the garnering, collaboration, whatever it is you're intending and what you do, has been an issue. We got 5 cards here. We're going to read these together, child. We have 4, stability, the eternal child. The eternal child. Then we have 50, 67 for, again, the sword. 67. No, not 67. I'm sorry, 62. 50, 61, 62, equating to an 8. The sword here. We got the moon and the sun. All right. And then we have the medallion. And we have 59, 5, and then we have the comic, 25, 26, another 8. Already it's a lot going on here, y'all. It's a lot going on here. Could be due to this here, the eternal child. And then we have the mystic. I'm hearing whom you don't trust. 21 equating to a 3. The seed. What it is you reap, you shall sow. All right. So we're going to read this one individually and these two together. The eternal child. What is this for Gemini, sun signs, business owners, entrepreneurs, and brand owners? Some of you don't feel fully safe in your body and you're recreating the trauma of your past. And that is lack. That is sabotage. As soon as you're on the precipice of something, you do something to sabotage it. So people, so for example, I'm getting this, like, you may say, okay, well, I had this coming up. I had this meeting. I didn't sabotage it. It didn't work out. You may have sabotaged something else. Whether it was connected to it or not, it's like it changed your trajectory. So it's just like, for example, it's kind of like what I'm saying is you blocked your blessing of this that you had already had going by doing something else. Ooh, and it's all due to this childhood trauma, inner turmoil, bitterness, lack mindset of the environment you were raised in. 4, stability. 4th house energy, ruled by the moon, Cancer, roots, lineage. All right, so we're going to read these two together. The sword and the medallion for Gemini. What is this here for Gemini placements as it relates to this reading? Trouble from the past. I'm hearing cut down. Not being able to fully take criticism. Even if it's not criticism, hearing it as criticism and not being able to fully take it. This medallion is kind of representing something that has been implanted, hard-coded to your DNA. um is holding you back. It's like something you must release. I'm hearing what you need to release is the idea of titles. It's all going back to this eternal child, right? So you need to release, because the criticism is, it's all attached, right? You need to release what's not serving you when it comes to titles. So if you feel like, and people like, this supposed to be about business, it is. It's why it isn't thriving the way you want it to thrive. If you feel like, okay, and when I say titles, I'm not talking about titles in business, because people like business is business and personal is personal. But if your personal ain't right, it always fucking affects business. We see that every day. If you pay attention, you see, especially when you work in smaller environments, like small shops, restaurants, things of that nature. You really see it when you're working in a place where it's owned by a husband and a wife, or two wives or two husbands. Like, you really see it. If the personal is not right, it will affect the business, right? So it's just like hard-coded. Something is hard-coded where you feel like, well, if you my sister, you my brother, you're my mother, it's supposed to be this. Maybe it didn't happen like that. And that is seeping over into your creativity, you being able to hard launch these ideas. And when I say seeping over your creativity, I mean you can create the product, but as far as like launching it to your demographic, getting it out to the public, marketing, things of that nature, there's an issue. You feel like some of it is audacity and entitlement. So say, for instance, you got the product and you're working with this ad agency or this marketing agency. You may have in mind a budget, but you may not be calling it a budget. So you may want to say, okay, that shouldn't be none more than $800. But then when you talk to them, it's like, okay, we're going to need $1,600 for that, or that's going to be $2,000. And then it's an offense and an affront to you, because it's like, how you telling me? I know this don't come. But the thing is, you don't know ads and marketing. You know creativity of what you're doing, right? And then it's like, and people are like, well, what does that have to do with the past and these titles, right? Somewhere on down the line, when you go to this marketing, this is still an example, right? You get the impression, you've asked around and people say, well, I ain't paid nothing but such and such when somebody did marketing for me and such and such. So you get that in your head. But the thing is, you asking people that don't do what you do, that haven't done what you done. They may be successful and done things in a different way, right? But it's just like, you may want to go bigger. You may want to go global. You may want to go international. And it's just like, wait a minute, hold on. You want more, so it takes money to make money. That's the root of that one. But the thing is, it's just like, you're looking at this with trauma blinders on. You're not respecting and responding to what you don't know. And that's personal and professional. And a lot of times you go into these meetings or marketing phases and it's like, I'm not really getting what I want here. And instead of handling professionally, you get into your emotions. Oh, this is a lot. Clarify this in the physical. The eternal child, and the sword, the medallion, the Gemini. This may resonate with Gemini risings too. Like I said, the creativity ain't the issue. Inspiration, ideas, discovery, right? It's just the eternal, the inner child that is the issue, because it's like you have to translate you operating in your childlike self to now you got to be a grown up and sell this product and launch this business and open this store. And it's like you're not fully in that energy. This may not be what you wanted to hear, but this is what I'm getting, so I'm not going to change it and sell no lies here. Now we have the moon here. Illusion, hidden, What is hidden here? The sword and the medallion. It's really like the trauma that you don't see. Extra responsibility, hard work. What's hidden, the trauma that you don't see, is the work you need to do. So I feel like that is at the surface. All right. Endings need bringing new beginnings is what needs to come out of this. Like I said, you have this steadfast rule, hard launch, that this title should be this should be that should be that. And it's just like, your lane is your lane. You can't tell nobody else what they should charge, what they should be doing in order to help you. Either you gonna pay the price or you gonna find somebody else. And if you find somebody else for lesser, don't in turn ask them for the world. All right, now we have the comic and the mystic. All right, we're reading these separately. Your partner in this business does not really know what they're doing fully. They may have some resources of putting you out there, putting you in front of a certain group or a certain audience, but they don't really know what they're doing. Like it's like a business professional is needed in terms of, or maybe some classes taken in terms of what it is you do, what industry you are in. Sometimes when it's like you don't know what to do, or you don't know how to do something, or you don't know how to reformat or restart or hard launch again, grand reopening, sometimes it's best to go back to the basics, go back to the foundation, the beginning, right? The Fool card clarifying that, right? They don't really know, this partner doesn't really know what they're doing, right? You're starting to see that, right? Starting to see them more than you're starting to see yourself, right? With this Chariot, there's action towards you seeing this in the future. Then clarifying this, you're gonna offer an opportunity for another partnership, a supportive leader. I'm hearing something about burnt a bridge, so hopefully, or maybe you are trying to go back to somebody that, the relationship is not what it was when you started this. So there may be some, I'm hearing comeuppance, but that's not what I'm trying to say. There may be some apologies that need to be given first to bring about in partnership this supportive leader, or this may be a sounding board or a mentor. All right, so the mystic, whom you're not listening to or you don't trust. What is this in the physical? So my thing is, it's just getting like some therapy, some healing with the inner child, some help transitioning once you have the product, putting it out there professionally, marketing, things of that nature, right? Getting it in front of the audience that, or the demographic that you created it for. And then getting some sage advice, some sage wisdom from possibly a mentor or something of that nature. So this mentor you don't trust, right? You don't listen to, but if you spoke to them, they could help you in a specific direction, right? Of new opportunities, abundance, and things of that nature, right? I also feel like they can help ground your energy to help you look inside yourself more and be not so chaotic. With everything you have going on here. Bottom of the deck, we have Ace of Cups. New opportunities, again, new feelings, compassion, right? Trust, intuition, love. And then a balancing out of the scales. And the bottom of the deck is what's to come, what's the future. But this is what I'm getting for you. Some of you also need to really look to your team, because as far as the marketing and the ads, or just like I do the creation, you do this, you do that, and you pay them for that. Some of them can really do that without you having to go outside the organization while you work on this other part of yourself that's really spilling over into everything. We have connection. You're not trusting yourself. You're not trusting your intuition. You're not trusting this mystic, right? This mystic could be outside of you, but it also could be the mystic in you. You are not trusting. You need to connect. That's why this came out with this. You need some meditation, some relaxation, some rest, some recuperation, retreat, renewal, solitude. Get in a safe space to figure this out for yourself. And so you can rebuild. Bottom of the deck is the future. Build. All right. Thank you, Gemini. Hopefully this gave you some clarity and insight. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and or comment if you would like a personal reading. All the information to request that will be listed below in the description box. Thanks.